What can we say about Patrick Mahomes, huh? What I tell y'all? What I tell you? What I tell you about Patrick Mahomes, boy? What I tell you about Patrick Mahomes? What I tell you? Get outplayed by Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow had 446 yards, 4 touchdowns. How about Jamar Chase? 260 plus yard receiving, 3 tutties. 3 tutties. That defense. No, Nick Wright. Nick Wright. Nick Wright. The Chiefs might be the most dangerous team ever because that defense is playing good. 34 points and 500 yards given up to Joe Burrow in the Bengals. How in the hell they the most dangerous team ever? And they the same old Chiefs defense. Same old Chiefs defense. They've been playing against bum. Played against Big Ben last week who can't throw the ball downfield. Before they played against the Chargers, Justin Herbert is a turnover machine. Coaching was terrible. They got down there. The Chargers got down on the field. Down there. I told you my last video, they got down there every time and could not score touchdowns. They didn't even try to kick the field goals. Right? They could have won the game. They went to overtime. So let's look at Patrick Mahomes. For the life of me, I don't know how Patrick Mahomes has a better QB at 86 and Joe Burrow has 65. I guess because Joe Burrow took a lot of sacks. Dude for 30 for 39, 75% completion percent, 74, 75, and 446. He's on fire. Almost over 1,000 yards the last 2 weeks. 986 yards with 8 TDs. On fire. I would take Joe Burrow right now over Patrick Mahomes. I said it. With those weapons, with Jamar Chase, Higgins, and Tyler Boyd, I would take Joe Burrow right now. Joe Burrow has had a better season this year than Patrick Mahomes has. Oh, Nick Wright. They overall betting favorite. And I want to see if the Chiefs going to be the betting favorite on Monday. After giving up 500 plus yards to the Cincinnati Bengals. You couldn't slow them down? I mean, you couldn't slow them down? You supposed to have been playing one of the best defenses. You've probably been playing the best defense down the stretch the last 9 games, but you couldn't slow Joe Burrow down? Jamar Chase is a problem. But these weapons, for the next 10 years, Joe Burrow is going to put himself, Jamar Chase is going to put himself in great company. They'll have a chance. They're going to be reckoned with. It's going to Kansas. They thought it was Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert still good, but it's going to be Joe Burrow and the Chiefs battling for that conference. The way it looks now, man, that boy is special, man. That boy is special. That boy is special. But get back to Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes had 50 yards in the second half. 50 yards passing in the second half. What was he doing? I'm watching the game. I'm thinking, man, they going up down the field. They can't stop him in the first half. I'm like, man, the game the offensively wasn't just how we thought it was, but in the first half, you couldn't stop him. Second half, totally opposite. 50 yards passing. He had an 86 QB run. He had 50 yards passing, under 100 yards, way under 100 yards. And then listen, Jamar Chase had, he let him do complete 3rd and 27s down the field. I mean, come on, man. That defense, same Chiefs defense. I still like Buffalo and Tennessee, who mollywopped them early in the season. I think they'll mollywop them in the play. I still like Tennessee. Tennessee now the number 1 seed. I don't know if Derrick Henry come back next week, but when he come back next week, he's gonna come back and play for the playoff. He got to be played just 1 week under his belt, and then they get they win this week. They get a first round bye. They hold on to number 1 seed, so maybe Derrick Henry can come back. But I still like Tennessee. I still like Tennessee and Buffalo over Kansas City. So I'm not sure why we was on that bandwagon like that. I'm not sure why we was on the Kansas City bandwagon, because they was beating up on bad teams and beat Pat Mahomes went on fire against the Raiders twice. He caught fire against the Chargers, who the Chargers actually lost to the Houston Texans. I mean, Nick Wright, I want to see you. They better not be the top of the tiers, bro, because that defense is pathetic. 500-some yards in regulation. Wow. Patrick Mahomes, 50 yards passing. He might be the MVP. 50 yards passing in the second half. Joe Burrow thoroughly outplayed him, and I'll take Joe Burrow, Cincinnati Bengals over the Chiefs right now. Man, them boys special out there in Cincinnati, I'm telling you. Y'all like, subscribe. I was right. I'm always right. I know what I'm talking about. Like, subscribe.